Let's see here, and I believe is it Coupbois and Quantum Kestrels are next? Is that correct?
Yes. So our last match of the day is coming up, and that's going to be Coupbois versus Quantum Kestrels.
Here, and it looks like since Make 'em Mark Great Again won this match, they're in the winners final. Which this match coming up will determine the winners final before which if they were to lose the winners final, they just would just get dropped to the losers bracket and still have a chance to get to the grand final, which they would then have to win 2 matches against the winners finals team. So I wasn't here for any of the Coupbois matches, but do you remember what they brought?
Let me look back real quick at the bracket. Whatever they brought, it clearly won.
Oh, I was wrong. I remember it. Tess had the Serb comp. My bad. It was the red versus blue that brought the Brutix comp and that beat Photon Pheasants. Okay, so yeah, so I would expect a Serb comp again from Tess versus the Brawley comp of Socket Closed. Thank you, Twitch chat, for that fix. I love you guys.
Yeah, and we'll be ready in just a couple minutes. If we can pull maybe a question or two from Twitch chat, or see if they remember what that last match that we're looking for was.
Okay, so I'm really curious what the Coupbois will bring against Quantum Kestrels, because Quantum Kestrels has shown tidy setup that is pretty strong, and they did a really great job of using it against Cass. So I want to see some really another meta change here.
So this is being our last match. I'll go ahead and go over it. Tomorrow's schedule will be starting at 1600. I'll pull up the matches real quick. First up is going to be Socket Closed versus Test Alliance. Then will be the loser of the match we're about to have versus RVB. The match after that will be the winners of those 2 matches. So either Test, Socket, RVB, or Quantum and Coupbois. And then Make 'em Mark Great Again has advanced all the way into the winners bracket semifinal. So we're already down to our final few teams here. Getting rid of the bulk of our teams today. We've already had 6 teams drop, and 6 teams drop for the day, so we're down to our final 6 right now.
And this is by no means like an easy tournament. This is like you have to really 5v5 tournaments can't really go anyway, and the fact that these teams that are still in it just show really strong showings. Even if they lost their match, still had to win some matches to be where they are now.
Right.
Yeah, and there's some great teams that have played today. Some really strong piloting for individuals and teams alike. And some of the teams I've got, as we've seen, tournament experience before, but some of them mainly composed of newer guys, maybe with less tournament experience. And they're just good to see people getting in, doing this, the EV sports, and having fun.
And that's one thing I like is we were able to get out the word pretty early about this for a lot of people, and some of it was just poking around on the forums, and people were able to just jump in. They were like, hey, do we have to have any entry requirements or kill board or whatever? And we were just like, nah, man, just jump on board. So we do have a few teams that are just completely new to the tournament scene that are good to see here. But as well as a lot of veterans of the tournament scene in EVE. So tomorrow, Make a Mar Great Again moves on to that, and then we have our losers bracket to clean up, and we'll find out here who Make a Mar Great Again will go up against, and who will drop to face RVB in the losers bracket quarterfinals.
I'm really curious to see if Make 'Em Are Great Again is gonna stick with their tried and true, tested Olimar comp, because
Oh, they have
it's
to.
strong. It's
They
strong.
have to. I will try and kick them at the tournament myself if they bring a single Mar ship. Can't go in with a team name like Make 'Em Are Great Again and then bring like a Galenti ship or something.
Oh, break the meta. I'm like, I didn't look, but I don't think there had any skins. Make 'Em Are Great Again is listening. Please, please apply the Purity of the Throne skins.
Negative.
Yeah.
Rada Sunset.
No. It has to be the Purity of the Throne. That
Has
is
to be
the
the
best
Purity.
skin in the game. The Cold Iron is good as well, but the Purity of the Throne is definitely up there.
See here.
I've pretty much bought it for all my ships at this point. I did briefly consider doing the sites and then realized that I could just have other people do them for me and buy them. It's so much easier.
The cool thing is the Star Captain skin is also going to be a large line, because I'm in the Paladin right now, and the Star Captain on the Paladin looks really cool. But I'm still in the Purity of the Throne, because, you know, Make 'Em Are Pure Again is the real name, and what should always be chanted. We do see the teams have landed on the field.
Yeah, interesting one coming in from Test.
We'll switch back in 1 minute and see if we can get the arena view, but y'all go ahead and give us a preview of what you're seeing for these team setups.
Looks like the Quantum Kestrels have bought a Serb, which is, yes, godlike. You got the Caracal, 2 Jackdaws, and a Mollis. Very high DPS kitey team. Like I said earlier, the Jackdaws have had a DPS buff, and they're going to be in sniper mode, so gotta watch out for those. And we have the Coupbois coming with a double Orthrus, double Flycatcher Mollis. So missiles are going to be flying everywhere. If I was one of those Molluses for either team, I would be quite afraid, just because those missiles are going to hit if you do not get those damps out in time. I'm really curious to what the teams are talking about right now about priority damp targets, because it is going to be a huge factor in the first few seconds of this match, because we probably will see the lighter ships become primary. I'm sure the Mollis is primary for both teams, and I'm curious to see which one will go down first. But they are 100 kilometers away from each other. Oh, yes. So they're 100 kilometers away. Go ahead. Sorry.
So the Flycatcher is kind of an interesting choice. This is the first time we've seen really those interdictors that are able to get a decent tank or tackle or a light missile, but not necessarily a lot of DPS. Definitely think they're going for not just the kite, but the one that can really take benefit of that Mollis versus some of the other Kyries or Mollis comps we've seen that aren't necessarily playing at that really snipey range, just a little bit of kiting going on.
By looking at just the two teams, I feel like the Photon Pheasants have the upper hand, just because they have much higher DPS in the respects of the Flycatcher versus Jackdaws, because the Jackdaws are going to get a much higher range than the Flycatchers, and the DPS in itself will be higher. So John Lee Wang for the Coupbois is gonna have to do some really amazing piloting to avoid just being completely wiped off this field. Match is about to start. We'll see who dies first.
And we're going. With or without the cameras, not sure if they're on right now, but immediately the Orthrus is burning in to try and get their first target down. Try and get some scrams out probably too. And the Mollis of John Lee Wang is immediately going down.
Removed.
Just gone. But this Jackdaw is about to disappear too.
Wow, yeah, so the alpha of the missiles are really big. So the Orthrus could go in because an Orthrus can fit
There goes a
XLSB.
flycatcher and another Jackdaw's about to go down. This
The-
is just alpha.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
alpha's going everywhere. And the Mollis of... Oh man, there goes another Jackdaw. So it's
So
a 3v3
this could be
right now.
a Serb and a
And there goes a flycatcher.
Orthrus fight.
Yeah.
That's
So-
really, this is it. A 2
So
versus
this is
3.
where the Mollis that's still alive is going to be a big factor as he goes outside the arena, and we can start
But-
to count down on that. But he's going to get, it's going to be more and more of a factor if with the
Ooh.
Serb versus Caracal kiting around.
So Bap's Orthrus is taking armor damage, but he's boosting well. The question is, these Orthruses are really fast, so they can stay in relatively close to the Serbs without having to worry about the Mollis, you might think. And
Yeah,
yet,
I mean, that,
this
Mollis.
Orthrus is going after him. He is going after the Mollis.
oh yeah. So the Serb is out right now. The Mollis is coming back in. The Orthrus of Cog is decided, I'm done with this smaller Mollis. I'm going after him. And we see the Caracal of 6 Vintieri just go down. And the big reason because of that, buffer tanked. And
Right.
the Orthruses are active tanked. So they're able, that's why they were so aggressive, because they're able to take all this damage and
So
survive.
really, the Orthruses, if they wanted to, they could attempt a disengagement for the next, 7 minutes and still survive on points. But they could also easily go in and take care of this Mollis and Serb.
Yeah, I'm wondering if everybody's on reload right now because I see no damage being put across anybody. There are
Bap
ECM
is taking a
drones.
little bit of shield damage, and he's not boosting yet. He
Bap-
could just
yeah,
be
He's
baiting
taking
or
a lot
reloading.
of damage.
So you could think that Bap was able to survive the damage and go into reload, and now it's a race between Serb's got his reload off and is now applying to Bap, and Bap is
Ooh,
just looking at
he's
his
going down.
ASBs.
He is going down, going after this Mollis.
Oh, and his ASB wasn't able to reload in time. This Mollis is down.
The Mollis is down, but
Orthrus.
it doesn't matter. It's Orthrus.
There is a
versus
solo
Serb.
fight, so everything comes down to this. Both ships full shields. So that's it.
Both
This is
could
just
be
full-on
active
1v1.
Yeah, both could be active tanked. So, and like,
Well,
this
we
is-
saw
this
the
is
other
great.
Orthrus
It could
was,
go
so
any way.
yeah. This
So
could...
both could be active tanked. We do not know if the Serb is active tanked at all. We will see if he boosts.
just
it, and he
boosted.
The
did.
Serb is
Yep,
boosting.
yep.
The Serb is boosting. There's not much DPS being applied to the Orthros right now, so maybe that Serb is on reload.
Now there are ECM drones on this Serb, so most likely this Serb is jammed. If he's not on the reload, he is just jammed.
And no damage on either ship right now. Maybe they're
Yeah.
having a truce.
Or Orthrus is on reload. So the Orthrus is on reload. Serb possibly jammed, or the Orthrus himself is jammed because he also has
Damage
ECM drones.
now being applied to the Orthros. A lot of damage. He's starting to boost. He caught it there in about 10% shield, but the boosts are landing now, and he's starting to rep up through that. But if he's ASB, then he can only do this so many times before he has to reload.
Oh yeah.
Serb now taking damage as well.
Alright, so the Orthrus is now shooting. The Serb is shooting each other. They both have flights of ECM drones on them. The Serb has a lot more ECM drones on them than the Orthrus does, but the Orthrus did take a huge chunk of armor damage there. So he's
that's-
hoping that there's a jam will come through on him soon.
Right. Not only the ECM and the E-War fight going on here with those drones, do you try and kill the drones when you have that moment because they are really light and easy to destroy, but the other
You
question is
need all those
how-
volleys.
Yeah, you need
Exactly.
all the because the reload time is so long. So you just hope that you don't get jammed. And
I think the
Serb
Orthros has
has
been
able to-
jammed again because the Serb has managed to rep himself back up to full, possibly overboosted, but this could be an opportunity to reload his ESB.
Yeah, or like, all right. So the Orthrus is shooting him again. The Serb is still not shooting. He could possibly be jammed or on a reload cycle himself of his missiles. This is gonna be a waltz. You know, either you're jammed or you're reloading your missiles, and then you're gonna have to hope like, okay, if they're ASB, like, should I try to reload my ASB? You know, like that's the question. You're
That's
gonna have to ask
always the
yourself.
risk. Do you because then you're worrying about are you actually pulsing your MWD or just letting him kite around you and shooting him back, or
So they're both shooting each other again. The serve is
Arthur's
shooting pretty
into
hard.
structure.
Orthrus is
Ooh,
going
and he's
down.
down.
That
goes.
is it.
Wow, what a match. That 1v1.
Quantum Kestrels
Yeah.
win.
And seeing that Orthros explosion, so beautiful. Well done.
Good fights.
Well done.
Good fights all
job.
around there. So that is the that was the pheasants, was it? Or the fuck, I never remember. There's too many of them.
Pheasants.
Photon pheasants.
Oh,
Going
Quantum
in.
Kestrels, excuse me, that was Quantum
Quantum-
that
Kestrels.
was
God.
Quantum Kestrels.
We all did it.
Photon went out. Yeah.
Laserhawk, screw it.
Yeah. Laserhawks Team A going through.
Yeah. To face tomorrow to face the Makomar Great again. So I'm really
that
curious
is going to be
see that.
interesting. That is going to be a fun match, seeing if they bring that Amar Pure setup. But also, after that match, the last two, the final matches tomorrow, we will have a single ban. So that could be key in that final match. Each team gets a ban in that final set.
Oh, it's
So,
great. So
are we going to see something like a Harbinger get banned if it makes Amar great again? Or maybe the Orthrus or Serve if it's Quantum Kestrels. So, final matches 22 and 23, they will have that option. But for the first set of matches with Make Amar great again and Quantum Kestrels, it'll be just the standard what you've been seeing here today.
that was a great match. And the Coupbois are not out of this. They only dropped to the losers bracket. So
Right,
they
so
can
they will
still
face
make a run of
RVB
things.
tomorrow, and they could make a run back.
And maybe get a rematch against the Quantum Kestrels. You know, we might see another 1v1. Like that was. I'm really happy it went down to that.
You gotta love a fight that comes down to it, like a 2v3 and then a 2v2 and then a 1v1 and then just that sparring.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how you
those
know
are
it's been an
great.
even match with like it's been trading back and forward, and you end up with, and they both started basically completely full health as well. So it was a true 1v1.
Yeah, it was a really good match. I'm really happy we got to see it and witness it. I'm really happy that, like I said, there is a losers bracket, so we do get to see the Coupbois go ahead and attempt a run. They do have to beat Red versus Blue to do it. And then you also got Socket Close versus Test Alliance. They can make a run as well. Remember, Dreadit is always recruiting, so they clearly need some pilots since they had to give up a match earlier today. But the Make Amar Great Again versus Quantum Kestrels is going to be a match to see. The full Amar team versus probably a Kaidi Caldari team.
Yeah. It should definitely be interesting matchups tomorrow.
So let's go ahead and we said who is fighting, but let me get the actual schedule. So tomorrow, starting at 1600 to 1645, we'll have those first 4 matches, and then the finals will be after that, starting again at 1745. So we'll take a little break there after we wrap up the lower bracket.
Awesome. Looking forward to those. Some really great matches.
So yeah, first up will be Socket Closed and Test Alliance Please Ignore tomorrow at 1600. Hope to see you guys there. Thanks for everybody for watching, and fly safe.